podcast.
Have you ever had this thing where time seems to change? Either it speeds up or it slows down, like the day lasts forever. Maybe you've been in a work situation and you look at the clock and it's, let's say, 3 o'clock. A couple hours later and it's 3:20. Or the opposite of that. Maybe you've got a great podcast guest. You're in the middle of an interview and before you know it, that hour or however long the interview is supposed to be is up. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Being present in the moment, that's something that I think can help you with your podcast. This is Build a Big Podcast, the marketing podcast for podcasters. I'm here to do 3 things for you. Help you grow your audience, get more people to your podcast, make more money with your podcast. My name is David Hooper. You can find me at bigpodcast.com. This episode is the audio edition of my weekly newsletter. That is called Big Podcast Insider. You can find it at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 238. And here's what I'm going to cover. 20 years in radio, using Cameo to promote your podcast, the one-to-one method, your invisible co-host, grow your email list with giveaways. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. This episode of Build a Big Podcast is brought to you by Riverside.fm. Riverside is a virtual recording studio that makes recording and editing at the highest quality possible accessible to anyone. You're going to look and sound your best. You're going to sound like you're in the same room. It's because Riverside records you and your guests locally, bypassing poor or unstable internet connections and giving you studio quality audio and video. That means if you're like me, you're in Nashville, you've got a co-host like me who is far away, maybe on the other side of the country, maybe just across town, you're going to still sound like you're in the same room. Your podcast is going to be more accessible to people and also search engines thanks to instant transcriptions powered by AI with 99% accuracy. If you want to edit via text, you can do that, edit audio and video, just like you would a Word document. You know what I like that for? Not for the fine edits, but for the big chunks. Maybe those huge pauses, that rant that your guest took, maybe that you took, that needs to be removed. Take out minutes of a time without even listening to them. It's as easy as editing text. You got everything you need with Riverside to record your podcast, edit your podcast, and even market your podcast. They've got something called AI Magic Clips. This takes your long-form audio, chops it into social media content. You're ready to go. Put those clips out into the world. Let them bring people to your full-on podcast. You can try this for free. They're going to give you a couple of hours. Try it out. Kick the tires. Look under the hood. See how it works for you. You're going to love it. It's riverside.fm. Go there right now. Get your 2 hours for free. And if you like it and you want to stick around, I've got a discount code for you. That discount code, Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST, riverside.fm. The discount code, Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going from thing to thing to thing, all of them about podcasting. In between each of those things, you will hear this. That's how you know I've gone on to the next thing. And that's how you know. If you want to see what I've written about it, you want to see images, videos, get links, you can go to newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 238. You ready? 20 years in radio. I got on LinkedIn this week and I had a few congratulations on your 20-year anniversary messages. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't even think about it because I'm present, man. They were talking about my syndicated show called Music Business Radio. Been with WRLT for 20 years this month. I didn't think anything of it because I show up, do the show, market the show, book the show, do all the things. Next thing you know, you're 20 years in. And that's what happened to me this month. Strangely enough, that show is what got me into podcasting. Really quickly, what had happened was I knew Dave Jackson. You might know him from School of Podcasting. He was doing a musician's newsletter because I was in the music industry. I subscribed to that newsletter. He started a podcast called Musicians Cooler. Because I was on the newsletter, I knew about the podcast. I listened to it. I'm in this pitch meeting. We're talking about what became Music Business Radio. They weren't really sure if it was going to work. I said, you know what? There's this thing called a podcast. And they said, a podcast, huh? What's that? 20 years ago, nobody knew. But I knew because of Dave Jackson. He was doing something in the music industry. I thought I could do something with the radio show for the music industry as a podcast. And that's how I got into podcasting. Back to my point about 20 years, though. I haven't really thought about it. We did with Music Business Radio a 100 episode party, a big party at BMI. And that wasn't really for me. That was for us to get listenership. You know, I think of it like that. Me personally, I'm not really one to celebrate. From the time I turned 10 years old to the time I turned 40, I didn't even celebrate my birthday. That year, when I was 39, that's when I met my wife. I mean, she wasn't my wife then. She's my wife now. And she put an end to that. So every year since then, we do something special. I should say this. She does something special for me. She's like, you're going to acknowledge this. And that has changed my attitude about stopping to celebrate. Not for a long time, just for a little bit. I do think it's important we acknowledge, maybe even celebrate what we've done. But I also think it's important to keep a foot on the gas. Related to that, last month, and I haven't really talked about this on this podcast, but I'm going to. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe. Go to bigpodcast.com/subscribe. That'll make sure you don't miss any episodes. Last month, I started doing production work for SiriusXM. One of the reasons that I decided to do this is because I'm working alongside some very talented talk radio programmers. My boss, for example, he was at WNYC when Radiolab started. Before that, he was at WOR. This is a New York radio guy. I'm working alongside some people that have done some things that I really love, and I want to learn from them. WRLT, where we do music business radio, I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but it is the top adult alternative station in the country. I've learned a lot from those guys. WPLN, which is a local NPR affiliate, I've done some work there. Those guys are nationally recognized. So I've had a lot of great mentorship in those areas, public radio and also independent radio. But coming to a national network, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm waking up every day at 4:15 to get into the studio by 5. It's a change in my schedule for sure. Because this is live radio. When I talk about being in radio for 20 years, what I'm not talking about is the radio that I did before that. It's been that long since I've actively done live radio on a regular basis. Anyway, good things coming. When you're in it, when you're having fun, enjoying yourself, the time flies. Is it a busy time for me now? Yes. Yeah, it is. But you can understand this, especially if you've got something on the side of your podcast or your podcast is on the side. To that, I will say this. It is easier to rust out than to wear out. Get in the trenches. Obviously, take a break, like I'm talking about here. Pause, take time to celebrate, but keep that foot on the gas, keep moving forward. If you need help doing that, well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about it right now. Big Podcast AMP. If you like the newsletter, you like this podcast, you're going to love Big Podcast AMP, the audio monetization program. It's a personal coaching program. It's you working with me, and I'm going to help you do 3 things. 1, grow your podcast audience. 2, get people talking about your podcast. And 3, make more money with your podcast and your podcasting skills. I've got all the details at bigpodcast.com/amp. That's bigpodcast.com/AMP. Using Cameo to promote your podcast. Hal Cohen, he's out of Philadelphia. He's got a podcast called It's Easy When You Know Hal. You remember The Gong Show? This is a show, I don't know, in the 70s, maybe the 80s. And it was basically a talent contest. Think Star Search, American Idol, a little more risque at times, maybe Novelty. And if the panelists did not like you, boom, they would ring the gong. And that was it. You were escorted off. But if they did like you and you would finish, you would get a rating. So Hal had this friend who was on The Gong Show back in the 70s. One of the panelists of The Gong Show, Jamie Farr, Klinger on MASH. A huge hit at the time. And Jamie Farr, very funny guy. He gonged Hal's friend. Fast forward to today. Jamie Farr is on Cameo. Hal and a couple of his buddies went to Jamie Farr via Cameo, hired him to give the friend a rating. Say, you know, I don't remember gonging you. I'm sorry for that. But for your birthday, it was a birthday message, I'm going to give you a 10. I thought that was a genius because it gets people talking. It's a fun story. If you haven't seen Cameo, it's cameo.com. It's shout outs from celebrities. Some of them very well known, some of them not so much. I mean, we've got the D-list all over Cameo, a lot of social media influencers, but there are some great opportunities for you to use it, collecting video, and because of that, audio as well, that might work for your podcast. I'm going to give you 3 ideas. 1, a celebrity podcast intro. You could hire a recognizable celebrity on Cameo to record a custom podcast intro, maybe an episode teaser. You could use these for cold opens on episodes. something like Saturday Night Live does. Hey, it's Jamie Farr, and you're listening to Big Podcast. Or maybe there's some kind of skit you want somebody to do. Social media teasers, ad spots. There are a lot of opportunities to use celebrities for intros, ads, and social media. The second thing you could do is a special episode announcement. Hire a Cameo celebrity to announce special episodes, season launches, big guest reveals. Continuing on the MASH thread, Klinger from MASH, that's Jamie Farr. Maybe Hawkeye, you're interviewing Alan Alda. He's got a podcast now. Well, hire Jamie Farr to introduce Alan Alda. That's something else you can do. Special episode announcements. A third thing, segment transitions or drops. Something for a recurring segment, transition, bumper, sound bites within your episode. It's worth noting that for commercial use, Cameo is a little bit different than a personal use message. So you're going to have to work that out. But this is possible via Cameo. I've got all these things written down. I've got the link to Cameo, the link to that video with Hal and Jamie Farr. That's at newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 238. Also, have you used Cameo to promote your podcast? If you have, I would love to feature your story. Reach out to me. You can find out how to do that. Newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 238. The one-to-one method. The reason that most podcasts don't succeed is that we think we're talking to a crowd. Let's say you've got a big audience. Are you talking to blank blank nation? Or are you talking to each individual member of that nation? I would argue that the crowd is an illusion because only one person can listen to your podcast at a time. That person may be listening in a store with other people around, in a car with another person around. There can definitely be other people around when listening to a podcast, but most podcast listening is done alone. And even if there are other people around, it's still you talking to that one person who's having a much different experience than the person next to them or the person next to them. We each have our individual experiences with a host. Seth Godin calls it the one-to-one method. If you want to read more about this, it is definitely something that can help you with your podcast and worth looking at. You will find it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 238. Your invisible co-host. I've got an image from Terry at Solo Business School. You can find it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 238. It showcases a part of a podcast that most people don't think about, even a lot of podcasters, unfortunately. That part is the audience. The audience is not a group of passive listeners. To go back to what I just said about the one-to-one method, it's not even one person passively listening. The audience or individual listeners are an essential part of shaping every direction of your podcast. The feedback that you get, questions, the interest that these people let you know that they want you to talk about. That drives the direction of your show, or it should. If you want your content to resonate with people, you want to stay relevant, listen to your audience. They will tell you how to drive your podcast. That's not saying that you're not the driver. That's not saying that you don't have the ultimate control over your podcast, your episodes, your topics, your guests. But listen up, man. Be open to suggestions. Way too many podcasters think, oh, I'm the pro. I know what we're doing. I know what the audience wants. They think they know what they want, but I know what they want. And there's argument for that. There's a famous quote by Henry Ford. He said, it's something about, no, people didn't want a car. They wanted a self-driving horse or something along those lines. I mean, people were fine with where they were. They didn't know what the future was. That's okay. Steve Jobs would probably argue the same thing. I get it. But you still have to talk to people in their language. You still have to break things down in an easy way that they can understand. Go to where they are and then bring them up to yours. That does not mean you can completely ignore them because you're playing chess and you're 3 moves ahead. So pay attention to listener comments, social media engagement, real-time reactions to your podcast. Make it a genuine conversation than a broadcast, you talking to them. At the top of the show, I talked about working with SiriusXM. One of the great things about live radio and the show that I'm working on, it does this. Listener-driven episodes. We can go in, and how we drive it is suggest a topic, callers call in. They know me, they know the host, they know each other. And that's how you know you've got something. When you've got listeners that connect with each other and have conversations off the episode, away from whatever it is that you are doing on their own. But who do they credit? They credit you. Oh yeah, we met through this podcast. We met through this event for the podcast. Listeners are very important. And you've got that kind of connection between listeners within your podcast and hopefully outside of your podcast, then you've got a winner. Let me summarize this in one sentence. A podcast thrives because the audience is at its core, not just on the receiving end. You want to see this image from Terry? You do. Print it out, put it on your bathroom mirror, look at it every morning. You can find it at newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 238. Grow your email list with giveaways. Got an email list? You should. You want to grow it? Here's how you can do it. Take a look at Promo Amp. That's what it's called. You can grow your email list with unlimited giveaways. It's got over 100 integrations and real-time analytics. You want to do more than one giveaway? You can launch unlimited giveaways. You can customize everything from the design of the contest, the prize, the language, the rules to enter. If you're selling something, there are instant win prizes, something like a free trial or a discount code. You can launch worldwide or to a specific location. I love that. If you're doing a live event, for example, and you want to give away tickets to that event, you want those tickets going to people who can get to the event. So if I've got an event in Nashville, Middle Tennessee, I can isolate that, Middle Tennessee. You got to be here to get these tickets. I don't want you in Chunky, Mississippi not being able to make this event. It's only going to people who are in Middle Tennessee. So again, launch worldwide or target a specific location. You can capture names, email addresses, and phone numbers in one go. It's called Promo Amp. It's a cool tool. One-time fee. You got it for life. I've got the link to it. More information, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 238. Is it worth it? A little humor for you. You can see it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 238. But let's talk about this. Is it worth it? Is podcasting worth it? Is the equipment that you spend money on worth it? As a podcaster, you've got a lot of opportunities to spend money. Promo Amp, what I was just talking about, that is one of them. You could argue, and this will be true for some people, it is a way to make money. Like they say, spend money to make money. That's the opportunity there. But is what you're spending your money on worth the investment? Because of the books that I've written, a lot of people come to me that I would say are pretty new in their podcasting journeys. And even more people, even if you feel like you're not new, maybe you don't have the listeners that you want, the audience that you want, the money that you want from your podcast. It's easy to think, I will get the listeners, the audience, the credibility, the clout, the money, if I just invest a little bit more in my podcast, upgrade my mic, get some software that'll clean up this audio, de-ess it, enhance it, compress it. For most people, you will find investing in yourself, telling a story, living a life that's worth talking about, working on your compassion so you can relate to people who write you and who leave voicemails and who interact with you via social media. That's going to give you a lot more bang for your buck than a better mic. A $50 or $60 mic, something like the Samsung Q2U, that's fine, man. If you want to upgrade later, do it. But don't be that guy who spends $5,000, $10,000 on a podcasting studio without knowing how to podcast. Part of podcasting, yeah, it's having good equipment. Having something that's going to take your message and get it out to people in a way that when they're listening to it, they think, oh, yeah, that person sounds authoritative. That's good. But in the end, this thing is about connection. If you've got that $50, $60 mic like the Samsung Q2U, you're going to sound pretty good. People are going to be able to understand you. If you're in a quiet space, I would suggest a walk-in closet with clothes to absorb the sound, minimize those reflections like reverb, echo. You can sound pretty good. The software, Audacity, I'm recording into it now. I edit with Audacity. It is free. That's handled. And the new Audacity, it just came out. It's got some kind of AI thing that cleans the audio up. It's pretty cool. Is it perfect? No. Is it free? Yeah. If you're just getting started, it will work for you. Don't focus on spending more money for gear. Focus on your story, your delivery, your editing skills. And beyond podcasting, outside of podcasting, walk outside that walk-in closet and go live a life, man. Talk to people, engage with people, ask questions. It's very easy these days to go to the grocery store, for example. Go through the self-checkout. You don't have to interact with anybody. That's not going to make you a great podcaster, unless there's a story there. Maybe there is. Every time I go through those things, I break them. Have to call the guy over. Hey, man, can you help me? Broke it again. There's stories everywhere. But the real story, especially for your audience, can a listener hear themselves in you? Can they connect? How are you going to connect to people? Living a life where you connect to people. Think about it. You want more thoughts on this? You want to see the joke that I've got about it? Newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 238. Thank you for listening to Build a Big Podcast. At the top of the episode, I talked about 20 years in radio. It's really 20 years in podcasting. Before I started this run of radio and podcasting, I had done radio, 10, 12 years earlier. I'd had a couple stints, definitely not 20 years, but I'd done it before. This run, 20 years, time flies when you're having fun, and I'm having a blast. I want you to have that kind of experience. Beyond that, I want to help you spread a message. I want to help you make the world better. The world can be a crazy place. It can be a lonely place. It can be confusing, frustrating. You've got something in you that if it gets out, it can help the world. And not just the world, but these individuals that are in the world, living in the world, individual people. That to me is the real value of podcasting. You getting on a microphone and connecting with individual people that you would not have met otherwise. And it can happen. I can help you make it happen. You want to talk about it? Big Podcast AMP, that is the best way to do it. I talked about it earlier. You can find more information, bigpodcast.com/AMP. That's bigpodcast.com/AMP. I've got more thoughts on growing your podcast audience, getting more people to your podcast, making more money with your podcast. You can get them by subscribing to this podcast. And you can do that by going to bigpodcast.com. There is a page there. It allows you to subscribe to this podcast with one click. If you've got an iPhone, one click. Android, one click. You want an RSS feed? I got it. One click. You can find it at bigpodcast.com. Go there right now. Subscribe before you forget. If you want to check out Big Podcast AMP, bigpodcast.com/AMP. That is there too. Regardless, I hope to see you on a future episode of Build a Big Podcast.